The moment that call connected, Aisha realized she was never meant to leave this house alive. The rain poured down harder as Aisha gripped the steering wheel, her heart pounding. This wasn't supposed to happen. She was only supposed to cover for her uncle for one day, just one simple day of delivering packages. But now she stood frozen at the doorstep of a towering mansion, holding a small, neatly wrapped box with no sender's name. Her uncle had warned her, "Stick to the list, no extra stops." But this address wasn't on the list. The GPS had rerouted her at the last second, flashing a message. Urgent priority delivery. She glanced at the package again. No return label, no company logo. Just an address and a single word in bold letters. Deliver in person. Her stomach twisted. Something about this felt off, but she had come this far. She took a deep breath and pressed the doorbell. A moment later, the massive doors swung open, but no one was there. Aisha's breath hitched. The hallway beyond was dimly lit, stretching into an eerie silence. Before she could turn around, a voice echoed from inside. "You're late." She gripped the box tighter. A tall figure stepped into the light. The sharp jawline, the piercing gaze. She recognized him instantly. The CEO of Blackwell Industries. The man whose name had been all over the news for the last week. And then it hit her. She wasn't supposed to be here. Aisha's throat tightened as the CEO, Daniel Blackwell, took a slow step forward. His eyes locked onto the package in her hands, his expression unreadable. "You weren't the one I was expecting," he said, his voice calm but laced with something else. Curiosity? Suspicion? Aisha forced a nervous smile. I'm just filling in for my uncle today. This package came up as urgent, so Did you open it?" His voice was sharper now, his gaze darkening. Aisha's heart skipped a beat. "Number I just deliver." "Good." He reached for the box, but before his fingers could touch it, a loud bang echoed from inside the house. Aisha flinched. That didn't sound like something falling. That sounded like a gunshot. She took a step back. "I should go." But Daniel suddenly grabbed her wrist, his grip firm but not painful. "You can't leave yet." Aisha's pulse hammered. "What? Why?" Another noise, this time footsteps rushing toward them from the dark hallway. Daniel's jaw clenched. "Because you just walked into something you shouldn't have." Before Aisha could react, he pulled her inside and slammed the door shut behind her. Aisha's breath caught in her throat as the heavy doors shut with a deep thud. She yanked her arm free and spun around, her heart racing. "What are you doing?" she hissed, gripping the package tighter. The hallway stretched ahead, dimly lit, with shadows shifting at the edges. The footsteps were getting closer. Daniel's expression didn't change. "You don't understand." His voice was low, urgent. "That package, who gave it to you?" I don't know," she stammered. "It just appeared in the delivery queue. The GPS told me to bring it here." Daniel let out a sharp breath, running a hand through his hair. "They know." Aisha frowned. "Who?" Before he could answer, the footsteps stopped. A deadly silence filled the space. Then, a slow creak. A door further down the hallway had opened just a crack. Aisha's chest tightened. Someone was watching them. Daniel moved fast. He grabbed Aisha's wrist again, this time pulling her deeper into the house. "We have to go, now!" Aisha resisted. "I shouldn't even be here," she whispered harshly. "I'll just leave the package and—" A shadow moved behind the open door. Daniel didn't give her a choice. He pulled her through another doorway, just as a deep voice echoed from behind them. "She's not supposed to be here." Aisha felt the blood drain from her face. Whoever had spoken wasn't talking to Daniel. They were talking about her, Aisha's stomach clenched as Daniel pushed her into a dimly lit study, shutting the door behind them. Her pulse thundered in her ears. Outside, the footsteps resumed. Slow, deliberate, getting closer. She gripped the package, her knuckles white. "Who was that?" she whispered. Daniel exhaled sharply, pressing his ear to the door. "Not someone you want to meet." Aisha took a step back, shaking her head. "This is insane. I was just supposed to deliver a package." "You don't get it," Daniel cut in, his voice low but intense. "This package isn't just some random delivery." His eyes flickered to the small box in her hands. "Do you even know what you're holding?" Aisha's fingers trembled slightly. She looked down at the package, suddenly aware of how light it felt. The cardboard was smooth, too smooth, as if it had never been handled before. No company logo, no fragile sticker, just an address. His address. A loud knock shattered the silence. Aisha jumped. Daniel didn't move. Another knock, slower this time. Then a voice, calm, patient. "Mr. Blackwell, we know you have it." Aisha's mouth went dry. "They're here for the package?" she whispered. Daniel's jaw tightened. "No." He turned to her, his expression unreadable. "They're here for you." Aisha's chest tightened. For her? That didn't make sense. She was just a delivery driver, just covering for her uncle for one day. How could she be involved in this? Her grip on the package tightened. "No," she whispered, shaking her head. "This is a mistake. I don't even know what's inside." Daniel's eyes stayed locked on her. "And that's exactly why they want you." The door handle rattled. Aisha's breath caught. "Open the door, Mr. Blackwell." The voice outside was calm. Too calm. "You know how this ends if you don't." Daniel moved fast. He grabbed the package from her hands and tore through the wrapping. Aisha gasped. Inside wasn't a product, or a letter, or anything that made sense. It was a phone. A sleek black phone, screen dark, no buttons, just a small white light blinking in the corner. Daniel cursed under his breath. "Damn it," he muttered. Aisha's heart pounded. "What is that?" Before he could answer, the phone vibrated violently in his hands. Then, it rang. The door outside shook with force. They were trying to break in. Daniel stared at the screen. The number was hidden. His face darkened. "We're out of time." Aisha stepped back, panic creeping into her voice. "What do you mean?" The knocking stopped. Silence. Then, from the other side of the door, the same voice spoke again. But this time it wasn't calm. It wasn't patient. It was furious. "You shouldn't have answered." The phone, still in Daniel's hands, answered itself. The call had connected. And then, all the lights in the house went out.